All right, let's talk about Mac Jones, McCorkle himself, who, I mean, let's be honest, this was a disaster. People are calling for him to be benched. People are saying it's Bailey Zappi time. People are saying to have to move off of him after the year, which is weird because I felt like through the first couple of games, people kind of felt like, okay, Mac is back. Mac is, back to what he was before Patricia got a hold of him. This was a disaster. I'm going to be harsh to Mac Jones in this video, so I want to start off with a positive because, I watched the whole game when I talk about a player, and there's obviously going to be positives and negatives. He did have some good throws in this one. So let's start off with one of those. It's going to be a man coverage play. You have a receiver who's going to be going over the middle, all right, makes sense. It's a good angle. This is a tight end here going over the middle, and watch what happens. So Jones is going to take the snap. Jones is going to look over the middle. You have a player who is, a little bit open. It's not wide open. This is going to be a tough throw for Jones, and you have a Dallas player over the middle. You have to get it over on top of that. But Jones' throw, really good, and he did this a few times in this game. He did. There's no denying that in this game, the way Dallas was playing defense and the way the Patriots were struggling to get open, there were a lot of plays that Jones had to be basically perfect on, and there were some where he was. There were some where he really wasn't, though, and let's talk about those, because those are the ones that we're here to talk about. So first, let's start off with this play. It's going to be a fumble, which, listen, in this situation, what you really have to do is protect the football. That's kind of how you have to play these games. And, Tom Brady, who a lot of people would, talk about how he got carried by his defense, and there's no denying that he won his share of defensive games. Part of how he was able to do that, though, was he knew when to not put the ball in harm's way and to make sure he protected the football. Here, there is an edge rusher on the outside. Watch how when Jones takes the snap, the edge rusher is going to win this matchup pretty quickly, and Jones notices him. So that's what kind of confuses me, because Jones goes outside the pocket. Unless he just saw the pocket open up and didn't notice him, I guess that's probably what happened, actually. But I don't know, because it seemed like he had the ability to notice the edge rusher. So I feel like that's something you should be a little bit aware of, but he just isn't. Because watch how he stops and gets ready to throw, which results in the ball getting knocked out and it resulting in a touchdown. At the end of the day, if you're not throwing the football, keep two hands on the football. That's something you got to make sure you do, and Jones didn't there. Bit of a tough play, bit of a bad break for Jones, no denying it. But at the end of the day, kind of like I said, you're not winning this game if you're giving Dallas 7 points, and he didn't give Dallas 7 points. He gave Dallas more than that. This play was one of the weirder plays I've seen Mac Jones make. I don't know what he was doing here. So this is, quarters coverage. You have, that little route underneath. Just could get open, right? Okay. Jones isn't even going to look there right away, but just, worth noting, could be open underneath this, zone coverage situation. Watch as McCorkle takes the snap. He is going to first look up towards his right, towards the top of the screen. Doesn't love what he sees there, though. So, okay, no worries. Just go to your next read, right? Look, as I mentioned, that play I told you about, it's open now. So, okay, cool. Hey, didn't work out exactly as you wanted, but at the end of the day, as long as you're getting someone open, then no worries. But instead, watch Jones he scrambles up towards the top of the screen like he's going to run, and then looks over towards the bottom of the screen. I don't know why he did that. I don't know what the point of that was. I'm assuming he wanted to run, quickly realized it wasn't going to work, and then got to his next read, but it's like, I don't know, you should have gotten to your next read first. That's what you should have done. He went the opposite order. Go to your next read and then look to scramble, not the other way around. Jones still then decides to make this throw, but that's not going to work. I mean, that wasn't that open in general. You gave the defender way too much time, and it's such a far throw that it results in a pick six. That's a bad play from Mac Jones. I almost called him Daniel Jones. It looked like a Daniel Jones type play, and maybe Daniel Jones is taking that as an insult, getting compared to Mac Jones at this point, because that was just a bad play. There's no getting around it. Also, this one, it's going to be a 4th down and 2 situation. Man coverage across the board. That's the way this works. Single safety deep. Okay. Again, 4th down and 2. If something's not open, you still do kind of have to throw it up. Jones takes the snap. He looks over. That's the situation, which, again, it's not wide open. I understand why Jones is making this throw, though. It's 4th and 2. You got to make something happen. You're down 28-3, which is a number that I'm sure we all had to thought at a certain point in this game. 28-3, right? I'm sure that went through all of our heads. Anyway, you're going to see Jones just throw up. I mean, there's just no mustard on that ball. I mean, that's just such a light ball that it is able to get intercepted. So, the decision itself, fine, whatever. Got to make something happen. I'm not going to crush you for it. It's just the throw itself was not good. Also, heading over to this play, this is another not great play from Jones, where it's man coverage. You have Parker's route over the middle. It's a 3rd down and 6, and this is earlier in the game. You're down 18-3, so it's okay. You're in a bit of a tough spot, but 15 points. You can certainly deal with that. Teams have come back from far worse. The Patriots have come back from worse in this season so far. So okay, no big deal. Just run your offense, convert this 3rd down. Parker's route really is the one that Jones should be looking at right here. Watch how when it begins, you're going to see that Mac Jones takes the snap. He looks over in Parker's direction. Parker is wide open. I mean, this is easily the throw you should make. So, okay, Jones, just make the throw. But instead, watch him hold, and then throws off his back foot, which results in the defender having time to come back and making that play and forcing the incompletion. So for Jones, who had a real chance to, get a 1st down there, he was not able to do it. And at the end of the day, I mean, you just kind of have to look at this as just a really tough game by Mac Jones. I mean, this was a disaster. I don't really know how else to phrase it. There were some positives. Like I said, it wasn't like every play he was just going out there and sucking. But this was the worst game he's played in an NFL uniform, easily. So where do we go from here with that? What do we do with that? If that's what Jones did, then how do we, what does that mean? I think that at the end of the day, you're going to still play Mac Jones, because why wouldn't you? I mean, maybe if you really like Zappy, you could give it a shot, I suppose, if you're a fan of Zappy. I think Zappy's fine. I don't hate Zappy. I do think there's a better chance that Mac Jones gets to being a top 10 quarterback than Zappy, although I think the odds of both look low right now. I do think that the arrow is leaning towards Mac Jones is probably not the guy. That's kind of how I view it at this point currently. Who knows what'll happen in the future, but you kind of have to view it that way right now. But as a whole, for Jones, I mean, this is, it's just unfortunate. And with the expectations being so high after his rookie year, where they made the playoffs, he just has not. You just can't have these kind of games. If you're going to be the game manager, you can't have these kind of games where you just kind of melt down. And, he hasn't shown that he can be a top 10 quarterback in the league. And at that point, it's like you do kind of have to start looking elsewhere. So who knows? Definitely could turn things around. There still is time to turn things around. And again, we're 4 weeks into the season. Them being 3-1 is not the end of the world. In fact, I believe Mac Jones' first season, they also started off 3-1. So definitely plenty of time to turn things around. And with their next 2 games, playing New Orleans and Las Vegas, those are winnable games. And if they can win them, both of those, and go back to 3-1, you can start to feel better about yourself. Granted, then you got to play Buffalo, then you got to play Miami, and then even Washington the week after is no easy out. So there's still some tough stuff there. But as a whole, it's not time to completely rule them out. But what a frustrating game if you're a Patriots fan, I would assume. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.